Hello, my name is Susan Spalding Brown, and I am the grades faculty chair at the Waldorf School of Tampa Bay. I recently graduated my 8th grade class after completing a full cycle from 1st through 8th grade. This is my 10th year here at the Waldorf School of Tampa Bay. I grew up in a Waldorf community and was a student at the Chicago Waldorf School for 10 years. And I have so many amazing memories of my time as a Waldorf student. The things that I remember most and that really bring me joy were many of the hands-on projects that we undertook. One of which was that we had to design, cut, and sew an article of clothing. And that was a totally amazing experience. We had to begin just with our own design idea and draw it out. We also had to then gather the money and calculate the measurements for how much fabric we would need. And we had a class trip where we went to the fabric store and had to purchase the exact amount of fabric that we would need to create our garment. And after that, we went back and had to put our pattern onto the fabric and cut it out and sew our own piece of clothing. And in the end, we ended up with an amazing garment that we had designed, purchased the fabric, and sewn ourselves. And that was such an amazing experience to go from idea to an actual practical item that we had designed and made completely ourselves. It was the 1980s, so it was a turquoise V-neck dolman sleeved shirt.
Awesome.
So yes, it was a shirt. The reason that I embarked on this journey to become a Waldorf teacher is because I wanted to bring to a new generation and to other children many of the things that brought me such joy as a child. For example, to be immersed in the arts and culture and all of the most amazing history and sciences that were so transformative for me. So I wanted to bring that to other children and families. The biggest reason why I'm so committed to Waldorf education is because I want to further this teaching where we address not only the intellect and the academic achievement, but also the whole human being, the whole child, their thoughts and feelings, their busy hands that can create so many amazing things. They can create their own clothing. They can grow their own vegetables. They can bake their own muffins and cook their own food and build their own dwellings. And those practical skills really give children and adults so much confidence that they can tackle any challenge that comes to them in their life, and even things from the future that we aren't even aware yet. The other thing that I really love about Waldorf education, and that I think is such a gift, is that it allows children to develop their thinking independent of many of the typical structures and that are put on children, so that they're allowed to be free thinking human beings as they grow in life, and that they bring some of their own passionate skills forward that they can learn to find what brings them joy. The Waldorf curriculum is still relevant even after 100 years because human beings develop in a series of stages, and the curriculum meets those stages, so that when the child is changing teeth around 6 or 7 years, there's a change in our instruction. And similarly, when they have another change around 13, 14, our curriculum meets those stages. In the middle school curriculum, we focus on the sciences, physics, chemistry, anatomy, physiology. And the Waldorf approach is quite different than many in that we focus on observing the processes of nature and in the science lab so that students
can gain a firsthand experience. Typically, for a science curriculum, you would start with a theory and then try to prove it with an experiment. But in the Waldorf schools, we have the children watch the entire experiment and draw their own conclusions from what they've observed. And in that way, they become an agent in the process and have a very different experience. When we focus on the phenomena and on the observations of the processes, it gives the students the ability to form their own conclusions from what they've observed, which is very different than a lot of methods. And what this does for the middle school child that's starting into puberty, when things can get a little crazy with the hormones, is it gives them a sense of strength and purpose. And it also gives them an inner sense for the truth because of what they've observed and have been able to conclude from their observations. And that is an amazing gift for students and for human beings to be able to give purpose to their lives through their own observations and making sense of the world to themselves.